I have a very important question for each and every one of you out there. It might be a stupid question. It might be a rhetorical question, because quite frankly, I can't see anybody answering this question any differently than myself. But we're going to try it anyway, because we don't have a better hook for the opening of this video. So let's do it. Do you like subscriptions? Do you love subscriptions? Can you not live without subscriptions? Are you like this dude who says you'll own nothing and be happy? Or are you like me and you absolutely, totally, 1,000,000% despise subscriptions? My name is Stevie Richards, and today we are going to take a look at a product that, quite frankly, could change the way you store, organize, and access your digital life. We're talking about the UGREEN NAS DH4300 Plus. It's a 4-bay network-attached storage device, also known as a NAS, that's designed to give you your own private cloud, media server, and centralized backup solution without paying that awful word, subscription fees. So I do want to go through some of the specs. We're going to roll all of them up on the screen right now, but I'm going to talk about some specs that are important to me with the 4300 Plus. It supports up to 128 terabytes, not gigabytes, terabytes of storage capacity. That's 4 32 terabyte drives that will create your own private cloud storage. Also, remote access is super easy from anywhere: phone, tablet, PC, Mac, browser, or even your smart TV, including the Apple TV, and we'll show that later in the video. So let's take a look at the hardware of the 4300 Plus from UGREEN. On the front, we have lights for power, the LAN, and all 4 disks, all 4 hard drives, and a USB-C port. On the back of the 4300 Plus, we have an HDMI, 2 USB-As, as well as that Ethernet port that's super important to connect to the internet through your modem or router. Also a reset button, and of course, where the power cord gets plugged in. When you open up the magnetic lid of the NAS, you'll find 4 hard drive brackets, which are also labeled 1 to 4. And these brackets support 3.5-inch hard drives, which is what we use today, as well as 2.5-inch hard drives or 2.5-inch SSDs. UGREEN also supplies a magnetic screwdriver, which makes it really, really convenient because these screws are super small. You'll end up dropping them. The magnetic screwdriver prevents that, or at least you can recover the screws and then put the 6 screws in each hard drive bracket in order to lock them in place. And it takes about maybe 10 to 15 minutes for all 4 drives to be connected to the bracket and then installed into the NAS. The DH4300 Plus has tons of third-party drive compatibility. There's a list if you're not sure if your drive is compatible with this NAS or anything else from UGREEN. There are tons. You can see right here, tons and tons of compatibility for hard drives as well as different types of SSDs. So the UGREEN NAS software has a lot of AI functionality, but for this particular video, in the beginning, since I'm a beginner, we're going to take a look at the Photos app and how we can implement AI smart recognition and classification for people, for pets, for text, and for objects. So let's go into the Photos app here. Take a look. Categorization in the toolbar is what you need to enable first, and then we agree and enable this, and it's preparing for the recognition right now. Now, I have a mix between myself, my wife, our 2 cats, and of course, it has an OCR function for text and other things. A great deal of detail in the photos as well. The phone it was taken on, you'll see that in just a second. We're going to come back. I don't know how long this is going to take, but we have quite a few photos and videos in my account. Now, my wife just synced her photos up there as well. Okay, we're just stopping back. You can see 1,235 items pending recognition. So the more photos, the more videos you have, it's definitely going to take a little bit longer. Like I said, we're going to come back when it is complete. Now we're down to 735. So that's good. It did 500 right as we were trying to record. It was 735 here. So we'll be back in hopefully a minute or two when it is complete. Here we are in the Photos app, and it did recognize 4 different people. It did not recognize my 2 cats, so I was trying to figure out something, but I'm very new to this, so there might be a way to recognize animals as well with the AI, but right now, even if I search, it says nothing there. But I can also click, there's my lovely wife, father-in-law there, family member there. So we have a ton of photos here. And like I said, you can identify what the photo or the camera, I should say more specifically right here, it was taken. The provider is me. Here's the image right here. And then we can view the EXIF information, when it was taken, and the camera it was taken on. In this case, an iPhone 15 Pro. We can favorite it. We can view the original photo. We can zoom in, we can rotate it, we can go full screen, delete it, and right here, we can add it to albums, add it to people, set it as cover, tons of different things removed from this person if it, if it pretty much got it wrong, which it's been pretty right from what I scroll down and look, or recategorize it as another person, move it or copy it to all those things. Like I said, I would love to be able to recognize Pokey here. She looks very happy, but I do not see a way to do that. If I'm missing that, leave a comment below. There she is again with our tough look right there, but tons of photos and different things. But like I said, this recognized me, and here's my wife. And of course, I want to see, she took these pictures and shared them there, but once they're on the NAS, I'm the provider of that. And it makes it really easy to really filter out the photos, categorize them, and everything. Once again, you can favorite them, have personal albums, shared albums, and here's duplicates. Let's see, we'll scan it right here, 735 photos, and we'll see how long it takes. Once again, probably anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes to do this. But once I get a duplicates, I don't have to go onto my phone, scroll, and just see. The AI probably will learn. And like I said, my only thing that I'm looking to do is see how I can classify everything as either animals, cats, or even by name, Pokey and Mia, and get that done right there. So, but everything else in there is Mia. So here we are on my Mac. We have the UGREEN NAS app. By the way, app is available for Mac and Windows, and that's an advantage, in my opinion, as somebody that owns a Synology NAS, where you have to log in through the web browser, and sometimes it just doesn't work. I prefer having an app here, and it's similar to the Synology, but it looks a little bit more, well, Mac-like, and I can appreciate that. The only thing easier than using the Mac app, and we're going to demonstrate it next, is the iOS app. But we're going to take a tour of this and then just do some kind of like, I guess, NAS 101 type stuff, because I'm very much not a beginner, but not really intermediate, and definitely not advanced. So let's take a tour of all the apps. I've installed some apps, by the way, and we're going to demonstrate like photo sync and backups and stuff like that during this video. If not, in the next video where we update you on UGREEN versus Synology and which is better for you. But here we have an AI app here. So basically we have model management right here for people recognition, text, similar duplicate photo recognition, and image recognition. Here's the photo app right here. We can download this on each of these. So basically I'm going to download these on the volume 1 and do that on all 3 or 4, and we'll see what we have. So we'll come back to that. It should give me a notification. I really appreciate that. I can do other things as notifications are popping up, or even more importantly, notifications of like a task error. Definitely want to know that. So here's the App Center where I downloaded the apps that are on the desktop right now. The Vault, Theater, Task Manager, Surveillance Center. We have some cameras. I'll do that in a later date. Lots of stuff here to download, even cloud drives. Let's install that right now on volume 1 and see what we have as far as what we can do with cloud drives, an explanation of what that is. Home Assistant, we can install that as well and see what we have. Oh, we have a path here. So let's go back to that. There's some additional setup for some of this stuff, but I'm going to just go on the rudimentary or easiest stuff. Let's go into the control panel. User management. I can add users. I'm going to add my wife, probably add Chase, James, other people that I work with. File services right here. I'm going to enable SMB right there and apply that. FTP. You have your own FTP server, NFS, rsync, WebDAV, advanced settings, other stuff right there, device connection, And there we go. So hardware and power have different stuff, fan settings, LEDs. That's actually not bad because there's another place we can put the NAS. It's in our kind of our it's a server closet, but it's not. It's where we keep all our tech stuff. But in our bedroom, we have another part of our mesh Wi-Fi system, so I can shut the LEDs off. So when we're sleeping at night, it's not flashing and working and backing up. So that's excellent right there. So memory compression, power, things like that. Auto power on, the power is supplied, like on LAN, schedule startup and shutdown, universal power supply. That's pretty good. All sorts of indexing services. I updated it just yesterday. I can check for updates. Already the latest version. Pretty decent. And we have all the apps right here. Let's go into storage because there's lots of choices with RAID and types of RAIDs. I did a RAID 6, I believe. Let's see in the storage pool. RAID 5, I'm sorry. RAID 6 was 2 drives failing. This is 1 drive, and they're all brand new hard drives. So I went with that, and I'm fine. I wanted to have 10.8 terabytes as opposed to under 8, around 7 point some terabytes available. A lot of storage still, but here's the organizing, the advanced setting, the hard drives, they're all normal. You can see they're 4 terabyte drives, but you're never going to get the true 4 terabytes because of the OS and other things. So the 3.6 has the temperature. Everybody, one's running at 32, one's at 31, 2 are at 31, one's at 30. So that's very interesting right there. And external storage, we're going to demonstrate that later on in the video. I have a T5 SSD and another type of storage. The ports make it possible to have other storage. So I'm going to copy from the SSD to the NAS. I can do it very easily, plugging it directly into the NAS. All right, let's take a look at the Photos app because I want to be able to upload photos from my iPhone and my wife as well. Upload the photos, the videos, the media right to the NAS. So let's just start here, see what it has to offer as far as setup. Upload photos, you can just pick where you want, or I can just basically sync them with the phone, which is what I'm going to do. Here's folders, categories, favorites, personal albums, shared albums, really cool. Similar and duplicate, we're going to enable that. It's going to do a scan manually or automatically with the iPhone app, I believe. So we'll look better at that. Task Manager, you can see everything we have from overview, CPU usage, CPU, GPU, NPU, memory, network, hard drives. There we have the write speed there, the read speeds, the volume, everything, service process, all that stuff. Really nuts and bolts stuff right now. Setup's complete. You can see it right by me right there. And we have all sorts of different stuff. And it also has an HDMI port to plug it directly into your TV. That's very interesting. Probably save that for a future video. One of my favorite built-in apps on the UGREEN NAS software is the Theater app. It's so much easier to use than Plex or Jellyfin, although you do have a choice of either if you want to use that. But the Theater app makes it a truly seamless plug-and-play experience. We're going to demonstrate that right now. Let's open up the Theater app and see what we have here. Now, I added some wrestling matches and stuff like that. You can see recent updates, recently played in the folder right there, and others. So these are able to be categorized any way you want. You can see homepage, recently played, my favorite folder, collection, all this stuff on the sidebar can be customized by going right here to the settings, and you can see they're pretty much all on in the navigation menu, especially homepage right here. Everything's on, but you can take whatever you want off of this, added, things like that, or carousel source right there, my favorites library, and you can see you can go all the way to the home right there and set up folders. Here's library right here. You can scan all the libraries and you have 3 different options right there. You can create a new library. You can go into the folder right here and you have the name and creatively put, I called it home. I'll call it something else. For future reference, you have a language. You can add the folders right here. You can see personal folder, movies and TV, music, photos, SRF. That's my fitness brand, shared, user, and you can add tags to categorize it and organize it however you want. You can create a folder right there. You can also just refresh it, and go right there. Go down here. You can see the library permissions are something that's very interesting. I created an account for my wife, Christy's Photos. She just wants to sync her iPhone photos and videos to the NAS, which has worked seamlessly for both of us. And I allowed access for her to access this and be able to probably add her own stuff and be able to do things and add categories and have her own media server that she can watch what she wants. So you can really customize this for people that want to see what they usually watch and then other people. And it makes it super easy. Like I said, compared to Plex and Jellyfin, this is so much easier, at least for somebody like me, as I hit my microphone because when I put my hand on my heart, because I love things that are super easy to use and super easy to set up. But let's do this. What we're going to do is go into files and we are going to add some stuff, and then we'll go out to the TV and you can see we added all this stuff right here. And I'm on a network that has a 1 gig asynchronous upload download, but it's over Wi-Fi. So you'll see how fast it is even right there. We'll just go right here, drag it over. It gives you a choice right here. And there is a theater player app here. And for the screen recording, it doesn't come up, but basically I can use the theater app and just do this. Now, because of copyright, most of the stuff is going to turn on it, but I can just right click this, download it, open it, and it will open it in the theater app, create shortcut, share, and then you have properties right here. And it shows you a lot of information, including recently modified creation timeline and the location, file size, and I can rename it right here on the NAS as well. So lots of great stuff. It has a theater player, works really, really well here on my Mac, but the strength of it is either plugging it over that HDMI port to have it as an input with the media server basically connected to your TV. I haven't tried to connect it to my mesh Wi-Fi and the TV at the same time to see if I can get the best of both worlds, but it doesn't really buffer. It's really great over my network. Like I said, 1 gig asynchronous up and down. Say that fast 10 times with a Philly accent, but it's more than enough to be able to stream anywhere I want in the home. And especially we have Android TVs, we have the Apple TV. Apple TV app is the strongest. We're going to go out to the TV and demonstrate that. But the Apple TV app, if you have an Apple TV, it's definitely, in my opinion, the best out of all the platforms that you can consume and view media. All right, so we literally just added the videos about a minute ago. It should be up here on the NAS. You open up right here, and then you will see the theater app. You go into it there, and we have everything right here, including the They Live classes scene. And, we played that before in another segment, but even this, just playing this right here, it's not going to have any artwork or anything. Let's see how fast that just came up right there. And then we go to match with Luke Hawks. It's almost instantaneous, if I could say that correctly. But everything is really, and even here, 720p, 720p, 360p. That's how long ago that match was with Kevin Thorne. There we go. We're going to have to, it's actually a tag match, Dreamer myself versus Kevin Thorne and Elijah Burke. Not the best thumbnail, but that hurt a lot. And then you have the They Live classes scene once again. My wife and I went downtown and filmed this. Probably my best stuff I've ever filmed to date. I don't even know how I did it right. And probably my wife is extra good luck. Oh man, this was probably the most fun and most creatively fulfilling thing I've done in many years. Really great stuff. So it's easy as that. Easy as that. I think the Apple TV app is definitely the strength with the theater app, and really does make a big difference. Here you have even settings right here, rebuffer per pre-buffer playback. That is off. So that's how fast this is right now, that I did not set this up in order for it to play even faster. In my internet situation, it's not even necessary, but the theater app is probably the deal maker when it comes to this particular DH4300 Plus by UGREEN. So I really like using the Mac app but it doesn't compare to the iOS app. Right from just clicking on the app and using Face ID to log in, and look at what we have here. Everything is converged. When I use my Synology NAS, each app is literally its own icon. It just clutters my iPhone, or I got to create a folder. I got to find everything. But everything, including installing the apps, uploading files, doing everything, is right here in this converged app. Very efficient, very easy. Even files, if I want to start doing stuff right here, it'll give me the same things as far as the wizard. And then you can see enable personal folder, full rights, limit, all that stuff. That just makes such an easy just UI to use for everything. And if I want to go right here to settings, I can. If I want to go back to the home screen, I hit that. It gives me all the information on the drive, and I can just work much, much easier with the iOS app, even easier than the Mac app, which is super, super easy. But using Face ID, getting right into here and looking at the storage, what I have, hit the plus, storage pool volume, doing everything right here within the UGREEN NAS iOS app. Really great to use. I don't even know where to start. It's got so many features, but if I just wanted to install an app right here, I could do so, and even edit the homepage apps and whatever I want to do, and even reorder them, much like I do on my home screen. So let's take a look here. The App Center's up here. I took my glasses off, so let's install this right here, and it's installing sync and backup. Makes it so easy to use. I just can't say enough about the ease of use, Mac-wise, and definitely right here. So really easy. So that about does it, at least for this video. I really want to do an updated video of everything I do with the 4300 Plus, all my backup, media server, all that stuff. We just scratched the surface in this video, but if you want to see more, please comment below. Also subscribe, and please click the bell to get notified for our next video. But for now, thank you so much for watching this video. See you in the next one.